Hello friends, in today's video we are going to discuss about our remaining chapter. I welcome you to the virtual classes of our school, Saraswati Shishu Kunj, Bhagwala, Borsad. So today's topic for our discussion is second lesson and the second part. We already have discussed 7th paragraph of the second part of the second lesson, and today we are continuing with the remaining paragraphs. So let us start the today's discussion. So we were discussing the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Now as you know that we already have discussed about his young age. When he was a child, instead of playing, he was interested in playing the Shehnai. Not only that, but when he became young, he started to accompany his uncle, Ali Baks. Another thing that I want to tell you is that his family background is of totally musicians, and that's why some of the influences also we can find in him. So this is how Bismillah Khan was very interested in music, and reasons are also there. The first one is his own interest, and second one is the family background that he has. When he was of 14 years, you already know that he attended a concert with his uncle. It is from that day that his popularity became more and more. Not only that, but also Bismillah Khan became one of the most heard musician on the radio, that is in 1938. More thing that I want to tell you is that he was only the first person who got that kind of chance that he could be able to play the Shehnai on the very important day of India. And what is that day? That is the Independence Day of India. You know that on Independence Day, he played the Shehnai on Delhi and particularly Red Fort. Not only that, but also he has given many memorable performances in all over the world. He was not famous only in India, but also in abroad. His name was there. Not only that, but also many kings, many emperors has gifted him many memorable things. That is only because of his talent. Another thing is that Bismillah Khan was that much popular that even from abroad countries also he got invitations. Not only that, but one more thing that I can say about him is that even one auditorium is also there in the Afghanistan, and that is named after a name of Bismillah Khan. So this is how we can say that Bismillah Khan was very popular Shehnai player. Even he also has given his valuable music in the Bollywood, or you can say in the film industry. But yes, the another thing that he would like to tell us is like that I just can't come to the terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, but he wanted to be natural. It shows nothing but his love for classical music and everything. So now let us begin with the remaining paragraph. Till here we have discussed. So today we are starting from the paragraph number 9. Students, we also have discussed the paragraph number 9, okay? But again, let us revise and then we will continue. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Central Hall in the United States of America. So it is nothing but his success. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tehran Mosaic to start Bismillah Khan. Now let us come to the today's discussion. National awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. So Bismillah Khan had all these three awards which we call Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. Conferred, that means given. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, with the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with the rare happiness. He said, what he said, see, all I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even in the West is now coming to learn our music. So after in 2001, he was awarded the India's highest civilian award, and that is known as Bharat Ratna. So firstly, Padma Shri, then after Padma Bhushan, then after Padma Vibhushan, and the highest degree of award is Bharat Ratna. So he was offered even that also. And what he said to us, see, coveted, that means much desired. What was his desire? That he was telling to us that rare happiness was found on his face, on his eyes, and he told to us that all I would like to say is, what he wanted to say, that is, teach your children music. If your children are interested in music, you must teach them. And this is said to the parents of the children, not to the child itself. Okay. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. And as you know that classical music of India is the tradition of Hindustan's richest, or you can say that it is considered as very rich kind of thing as far as the classical music of India is concerned. And that's why you also have found that many of the Western people come here just for learning the music. And even here he also said us like this, that even the West is now coming to learn the music, and that is the classical music. So classical music must be given importance. Not only that, but also if you are going to give the importance to classical music, only then it is possible for the other countries to get inspired from it. And that is the thing that Bismillah Khan wanted to tell us. Let us see the another paragraph. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. So instead of wandering or traveling the whole world, only two places were very dear to him. Which are they? The first one is Banaras and second one is Dumrao. And there must be the reason. Why? Because the Dumrao is his home village, hometown, and that is only the reason. Most wonderful towns of the world. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by duplicating the temples there. So one of the students was there who was living in USA, and he requested Khan Sahib, that means Bismillah Khan, that you must come here just to teach other students of the Western country. But see, what was the answer that is given by Khan Sahib? He was telling, see, first of all, another thing that we can see here, that even that student promised him to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. He was ready to do everything for Bismillah Khan. But though, what happens? But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. But for Bismillah Khan, it is not possible to go outside the country, and that's why he asked him if he would be able to transport the whole Ganga river in the USA. Only then it is possible that he might come. So here we can see the love of Bismillah Khan for his own country, for the classical music and everything. Why? Bismillah Khan did not want to go abroad, and that's why, in spite of saying directly no, he just gave some tricky answers, and the tricky answer was like this, that if you would be able to transport the whole Ganga river, it may be possible that I will be there. but as you know that it is next to impossible to transport the whole Ganga river. Simply, we can say that he never wanted to leave the India and Indian country. He wanted to be here and he wanted to continue his journey in the music. Later, he is remembered to have said, "That is why whenever I am in foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan, while in Mumbai I think of only Banaras and the holy Ganga, and while in Banaras I miss the unique Matta of Dumrao." So here Bismillah Khan is telling to us that whenever he was in Mumbai, he always think of Banaras. Not only that, but also whenever he was in foreign, he kept yearning for see Hindustan. It means he was really missing the India. He was really missing his hometown. And while in Banaras, and when he was in his own hometown, he misses the unique Matta of Dumrao. So somehow he was connected with his hometown, and somehow he was missing it very much. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. Why it is something like this, that he is rich cultural heritage of India, why he represents? So here we can see his love for his hometown, also we can see his love for the classical music, and that is because of this reason that we come to know about Bismillah Khan's life is perfect example of rich and cultural heritage of India. One that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him, devout that means believing strongly in any religious, Muslim like him can be very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. And though he was a Muslim, doesn't matter to him that whether he is playing the Shehnai in the temple or whether he is playing in the mosque. So that is nothing but it shows his emotions, his love for his country, and even we also can see his respect for all the religions. In spite of being Muslim, he was playing Shehnai in the temple, and that is nothing but his respect to other religions also. So this is the story of Bismillah Khan, and we can see here that he has done hard work from the very small age. He was learning it, not only that but also he made lots of riyaz for it, lots of practice for it, and so many things. Now here something is given to us. What it is just for information. So here it is written that when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? That was a question asked by one of the reporters, and the answer given by Bismillah Khan is something like this, that God forbid me leave Banaras, never. So here we can see his love for his country, that is India. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. I was there for about an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistan and salam alaikum to the Indians. I had good laugh. So this is the answer given by Bismillah Khan. This simply shows us his love for the India and country. So today we complete here our second chapter also, second part, that is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. In the lesson second, we have learned about two musicians. The first one was Evelyn Glennie and second one was the Bismillah Khan. Both were very determined people. Not only that, but also they both were believing in hard work. And the message that this lesson gives to us is nothing but if you want to achieve something, you must work hard, and also determination is required, hard work is required. So these are the messages of these two lessons. So I hope you got the message of this lesson, and I also feel that you enjoyed this lesson while learning. So in our next video, we will continue with the second poem, and the name of the poem is Wind. So we will meet soon in our next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.